Californians are returning from Texas, Idaho, and Arizona. Here's what went wrong. Mark Chen sold his San Francisco apartment in March 2023 for $875,000. Moved to Austin, Texas with his wife and 2 kids. Lower taxes, bigger house. The Texas dream. 18 months later, in September 2024, he moved back to California. Took a $40,000 pay cut, downsized to a smaller place, and he says it was the best decision he ever made. "I thought I was escaping," Mark told me. "Turns out I was running from the best thing I had." And here's what nobody's talking about. Mark isn't alone. Right now, in 2026, tens of thousands of Californians who left during the great exodus of 2020 to 2023 are quietly returning. And the reasons why should shock you. Between 2020 and 2023, over 700,000 Californians fled the state. Texas, Idaho, Arizona, Florida, Nevada. They sold their homes, packed their lives, and left forever. Or so they thought. Because in the last 2 years, something unexpected started happening. The return migration, the boomerang effect, and it's accelerating. I spent the last month tracking down people who left California and came back. What they told me reveals a truth that real estate agents, politicians, and moving companies don't want you to know. The grass isn't greener. Sometimes it's on fire. Sometimes it's frozen. And sometimes it doesn't exist at all. Let's start with Texas, because that's where most California transplants went. And that's where the biggest regrets are happening. Texas, the Austin illusion, the promise versus the reality. Between 2020 and 2023, an estimated 270,000 Californians moved to Texas. Most of them to Austin, Dallas, Houston. The pitch was simple: no state income tax, cheaper housing, lower cost of living, business-friendly, conservative politics. What could go wrong? Meet Sarah Martinez, the tech worker, who miscalculated. Sarah worked in tech in San Jose, made $145,000. She was paying $3,200 per month for a 900 square foot apartment. California state income tax was taking about $11,000 per year. In 2022, her company went fully remote. She did the math, sold her stuff, moved to Austin. She found a beautiful 2,200 square foot house in Round Rock, Austin suburb, for $485,000. Her mortgage, $2,800 per month. She was saving $400 on housing alone, plus $11,000 on state taxes. She thought she'd save $16,000 plus per year. By early 2025, Sarah was back in California, living in a smaller apartment, paying California taxes again. What went wrong? The hidden costs. Nobody told her. The first summer in Texas, my electric bill was $580 in July, Sarah said. Then $620 in August. My AC ran 24/7 because it was 105 degrees for 37 straight days. In California, her summer electric bill averaged $120. In Texas, $550 to $650 for 4 months straight. But it wasn't just utilities. Property taxes, the silent killer. California property tax. 1.0% capped by Proposition 13. Texas property tax, 2.3% average and rising. Sarah's $485,000 house. Property tax bill, $11,155 per year. That's $929 per month. Her California apartment had zero property tax. She was renting. Landlord paid it. So her cheaper Texas housing. Mortgage, $2,800. Property tax, $929. Utilities, $550, summer average. OA, $120, total $4,399 per month. Her California apartment, $3,200 per month, everything included. I wasn't saving money, Sarah said. I was paying more. And that's before we talk about the other stuff. The other stuff. 1. The car dependency. In San Jose, Sarah could walk to coffee shops, restaurants, grocery stores. She drove maybe 50 miles per week. In Austin, she was driving 320 miles per week, minimum. Everything required a car. Traffic on I-35 was worse than the 101 in California. Gas, maintenance, wear and tear, $380 per month. Car insurance in Texas, higher than CA, $240 per month versus $160 in California. 2. The political reality. I knew Texas was conservative, Sarah said. I'm fine with that. I'm pretty moderate myself. But what I didn't expect was how extreme it felt. She's referring to abortion restrictions, Texas banned after 6 weeks in 2021, school curriculum battles, book bans in libraries, government openly hostile to anything perceived as woke. I have 2 daughters, Sarah said. I started worrying about their future there. What if they need health care I can't access? What if they go to schools that ban books I want them to read? She didn't move to Texas for politics, but politics made her leave. 3. The culture shock. Austin's motto is "Keep Austin Weird," Sarah said. But it's not weird like Berkeley or San Francisco. It's Texas weird. And if you're from California, you stick out. She felt it in subtle ways. At her kids' school, parents asked where she's from. When she said California, conversations got awkward. Uh-oh. Her "Don't Mess with Texas" neighbors had "Don't California My Texas" bumper stickers. She was invited to exactly 0 neighborhood gatherings in 18 months. I wasn't welcome, she said. Not overtly hostile, just cold. The breaking point. In August 2024, Texas had another massive heat wave. 112 degrees Fahrenheit for 14 straight days. Rolling blackouts hit her neighborhood twice. Her electric bill was $680. Her kids couldn't play outside for 2 weeks. I was sitting in my house sweating, watching the AC struggle, paying $700 to stay barely comfortable, and I thought, what am I doing here? She called her old landlord in California. Her old apartment was available. $3,400 per month now. Rent had gone up. She took it. I'll take the higher rent and California taxes over this, she said. At least in California, my car starts, my power stays on. Oven people don't hate me for existing. Sarah's final math. Texas, 2024. Housing costs, $4,399 per month. Car costs, $620 per month. Miscellaneous hire costs, $200 per month. State taxes saved, $917 per month. Net, $4,302 per month. California, 2025. Rent, $3,400 per month. Car costs, $250 per month. State taxes, $917 per month, and net, $4,567 per month. Difference $265 per month more expensive in California. Worth every penny, Sarah said. For the weather, the culture, the politics, the quality of life. I'd pay double that to never go back to Texas. The Texas return numbers between 2023 and 2025, an estimated 42,000 Californians returned to California from Texas. That's 15.5% of those who left. And the number is growing. Why? 38% cite cost of living not as advertised. 31% cite political environment. 28% cite climate/heat unbearable. 24% cite cultural mismatch. 19% cite infrastructure issues, power grid, traffic. Houston and Dallas aren't better. Mark, a software engineer who moved to Houston in 2022. Houston is a concrete sprawl with no zoning. You'll have a mansion next to a refinery next to a strip club. The humidity makes 95 degrees Fahrenheit feel like 110 degrees Fahrenheit. In hurricane season, I spent $8,000 boarding up and evacuating in 2024, twice. He's moving back to Sacramento in April 2026. The Austin paradox. The irony? Austin became expensive because Californians moved there. Median home price, 2019, $295,000 so snowine. 2023, $492,000, pledged 2026, $515,000. So Californians moved to Austin for affordability, then drove up prices, then realized it wasn't actually cheaper, and then left. But the prices stayed high, And now Austin locals hate Californians, and Austin is expensive. Lose-lose. Idaho. The isolation nobody warned you about. The mountain dream dies. Idaho got the second largest influx of Californians, about 85,000 between 2020 to 2023. Most to Boise and surrounding areas. The appeal: beautiful mountains, outdoor activities, low taxes, conservative values. Real America. What nobody mentioned: the winters, the isolation, the resentment. Meet Jennifer Park, the remote worker who broke. Jennifer, 34, worked in marketing for a San Francisco tech company, fully remote, making $110,000. In summer 2023, she visited Boise, fell in love, mountains, rivers, hiking, skiing, clean air, bought a 3-bedroom house for $520,000, moved in August 2023. By March 2025, she was back in Oakland, renting a studio for $2,100 per month. It was the loneliest 18 months of my life, Jennifer said. The isolation, Boise population, 240,000, spread out over 80-plus square miles. No real public transit. Everything requires driving. In San Francisco, I could walk out my door and be at a coffee shop, bar, restaurant, bookstore, park, concert venue in minutes, Jennifer said. In Boise, I drove 15 minutes to get to anything, and there wasn't much to get to. Boise has 4 major concert venues, SF has 40+, 1 major museum, SF has 30+, limited ethnic food options, small dating pool if you're single and not Mormon. The outdoor activities were great, Jennifer said, but you can only hike so much. And in winter, when it's 15 degrees Fahrenheit and snowing, what do? The winter reality: Jennifer's first winter, November 2023 to March 2024. Average temperature, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Snow days, 47. Days below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 31. Heating bill in December, $340. Heating bill, January, $410. Heating bill, February, $380. Total winter heating, $1,850, 5 months. In Oakland, she'd never paid more than $80 per month for heat. But the cold wasn't even the worst part, Jennifer said. The social isolation. Jennifer is Asian American. Grew up in the Bay Area, used to diversity. Boise is 89% white. Asian population, 2.8%. I'd go weeks without seeing another Asian person, she said. I went to an Asian grocery store, the only one in the area, and it was 45 minutes away and half the size of my old neighborhood store. She joined hiking groups, book clubs, yoga studios, met people, but everyone was nice. But surface level nice. I never got invited to things. I never made a real friend. After a year, I realized, I'm not part of this community. I'm just here. The political resentment. Jennifer isn't even liberal. She's moderate, voted split ticket her whole life. But she had California plates, and people noticed. I got notes on my car, twice. Go back to California. One said, you're ruining Idaho. At a neighborhood gathering, the one time she was invited, someone asked where she's from. She said, Bay Area. The woman replied, oh, so you're one of the ones driving up our housing prices. I wanted to scream, Jennifer said. I didn't create the housing market. I just bought a house. But the resentment was real, organized. Facebook groups with 15,000 plus members. Keep Idaho, Idaho. Boise locals against California invasion. I felt unwelcome in my own neighborhood, Jennifer said. The breaking point, January 2025, middle of winter. Jennifer's furnace broke. Repair guy couldn't come for 3 days. It was 12 degrees Fahrenheit outside. She stayed in a hotel. While waiting, her pipes froze, burst. $6,800 in damage. I was sitting in a hotel room, alone, dealing with burst pipes in a house I couldn't afford to fix. In a city where nobody liked me, in weather I couldn't stand, she said. And I thought, why am I doing this? She listed her house in February 2025, sold it for $505,000, took a $15,000 loss. moved back to Oakland in March. "I'm paying more rent now," she said, "but I have friends, I have culture, I have diversity, I have temperate weather. And nobody hates me for where I'm from." The Idaho return rate. Estimated 18,000 Californians returned from Idaho between 2024 to 2025. That's 21% of those who left. Highest return rate of any state. Why? 43% cite social isolation. 37% cite winter weather unbearable. 31% cite cultural mismatch. 28% cite hostile local attitudes. 19% cite lack of diversity. Boise's paradox. Like Austin, Boise got expensive because Californians moved there. Median home. 2019, $315,000. 2023, $565,000. 2026, $620,000. So Californians moved for affordability, drove up prices, realized it was expensive and isolating, then left. Now Boise is expensive, locals are angry, and nobody's happy. Arizona, the climate crisis nobody mentioned. The desert disaster. Arizona got about 120,000 Californians between 2020 to 2023. Phoenix metro area absorbed most of them. The pitch: warm winters, desert beauty, lower cost of living, no state income tax like California's high taxes. The reality: deadly heat, water crisis, infrastructure failing. Meet Carlos Rodriguez, the family man who regretted everything. Carlos, 41, lived in Orange County with his wife and 3 kids. Worked in sales, made $95,000, rent for a 3-bedroom apartment, $3,400 per month. In 2023, his company went remote. He bought a 4-bedroom house in Gilbert, Phoenix suburb, for $465,000. Mortgage, $2,600 per month. He was saving $800 per month on housing alone. By December 2025, he was back in California, renting a smaller place, and relieved. Phoenix nearly killed us, Carlos said. Literally. Summer 2024, the heat crisis. Phoenix summer 2024 was historic. Not in a good way. 53 consecutive days over 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 days over 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Record 118 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 straight days. Heat-related deaths, 645 in Maricopa County alone. Our AC ran non-stop, Carlos said. The house was 78 degrees Fahrenheit inside, and that was with the AC at full blast. We couldn't go outside, literally. The pavement was 180 degrees Fahrenheit. My son touched a metal handrail and got second-degree burns. His electric bills: June, $420. July, $580. August, $640. September, $510. Total summer cooling, $2,150 for 4 months. We were prisoners in our own home, Carlos said, and paying $600 per month for the privilege. The water crisis. Phoenix gets 8 inches of rain per year. It survives on Colorado River water, and the Colorado River is drying up. And in 2023, Arizona's water allocation was cut by 21%. More cuts coming. Our HOA sent a notice in 2024. No more watering lawns, pool filling restricted. Prepare for more cuts. Carlos watched his desert landscaping die. His pool turned green, couldn't fill it. His grass turned brown. Neighbors started letting their yards go, property values started dropping, and we realized this is unsustainable. The infrastructure failure. Phoenix's power grid is under strain. Rolling blackouts hit Carlos's neighborhood twice in summer 2024. We lost power for 6 hours in 114 degrees Fahrenheit heat, Carlos said. My youngest is 4. We had to drive to a hotel. It cost $280 for one night. Roads are crumbling from the extreme heat. Schools are overcrowded, population surge, not enough schools. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Phoenix grew too fast, Carlos said. The infrastructure can't handle it. And it's getting worse. The breaking point. In September 2024, Carlos's wife fainted outside. Heat exhaustion. 116 degrees Fahrenheit. She was outside for less than 10 minutes. That was it, Carlos said. When your wife collapses from the weather, you realize this isn't a place to raise a family. They listed their house in October of 2024. Market had softened. Too many people trying to sell. Sold for $445,000, took a $20,000 loss. Worth it, Carlos said. I'll pay California rent before I watch my family suffer in Phoenix. The Arizona return numbers. Estimated 22,000 Californians returned from Arizona, 2024 to 2025. That's 18.3% of those who left. Why? Idaho, 52% cite extreme heat unbearable. 41% cite water crisis concerns. 29% cite infrastructure failing. 24% cite cost not as advertised. 18% cite quality of life worse. Phoenix's existential crisis. Phoenix faces an unsolvable problem. Water is running out. Heat is getting worse. Climate change. Population is still growing. Infrastructure can't keep up. By 2030, Phoenix may face mandatory water rationing. Lawns banned, pools emptied, businesses restricted. Carlos, we got out before the real crisis hits. In 10 years, Phoenix might not be livable at all.